Hi, this is Scott from A GoGo. I know it's been a while since I uploaded a video to YouTube, but I'm trying out a new format and I hope it works for you and me. Most of the videos I've uploaded have been all about soap making, but I make plenty of other products as well. And today I am making one of my favorites, bath bombs. I've had many people reach out on Instagram asking me for help with their bath bombs and if I offered any instructional tutorial or training. And at this time I do not, but I can offer several tips that might help those having difficulties. The bath bombs I'm making today are for a special order for Valentine's Day gift bags. I'm using the heart mold with the bath bomb press, one of my favorite pieces of equipment. I purchased it in 2019 at the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetics Guild conference. And at that conference, I also took a seminar with Lee Choi, the owner of the bath bomb press, and Ariane Arsenault. You'll find the links for them in the description below. That seminar and this press revolutionized how I approached bath bombs, and they've been a breeze to make ever since. For those of you looking for a formula that always works perfectly no matter what, you're in for a disappointment because it does not exist. Now, that's not meant to discourage you by any means, because there is hope. There are several formulas out there that work beautifully, but not for everyone. All of them contain sodium bicarbonate or baking soda and citric acid as the main ingredients, but there are variances after that. I personally don't use cornstarch or cream of tartar. I use kaolin clay, which is relatively inexpensive and helps to bind and harden the bath bombs. I blend that with the sodium bicarbonate while putting together my color and wetting agents. So when it comes to wetting agents, some people use water, some use witch hazel, and some use alcohol. So which one's best? All of them. People have had success with one or two of them and failures with another. I have never had any luck with water or witch hazel, so I use 70% isopropyl alcohol. You may notice that I'm pouring my liquids down the pipette, and that's just to help prevent it spilling down the edge of the bottles that I'm using. It's a great little trick I learned from Zahida map. Normally, after I put my alcohol in, that's when I would blend in my water-based dyes. But for some reason, I decided to do things differently for this. But either way, it all works out for the best. And I just added everything in. Keeping my carrier oils and polysorbate 80 in these squeeze bottles is really convenient. It lets me have a lot more control over how much is actually coming out. I don't add polysorbate 80 into every batch of bath bombs I'm doing, but whenever I'm using mica, or if I'm doing a really saturated color, I will add it in to help prevent it clinging to the sides of a tub. So I'll always tell my customers, to make sure they're starting with a very clean tub in any case. That way you can help prevent those stains and that kind of thing happening. For this batch, I'm doing a blend of water-soluble dyes and a lake. The first one I'm weighing out here is the water-soluble dyes, and if you're using just a light color, you're going to use such a tiny amount it probably won't even register on your scale. But for these, I like it to have a nice saturation of color. And blending the red 40 dye and I think it's red 27 lake helps get that reddish pink color, very vibrant, and works really well for these bath bomb hearts. The lake colorant goes directly into the powdered ingredients, which are sitting in the mixer over there. They've already been bloomed, and that's really the difference between lakes and dyes. Is lakes have been bloomed already. Dyes need to be bloomed in a water-based liquid for that color to really come out. I know some makers usually they'll weigh their or measure their colorants by teaspoons and things, but for me, if I'm going to be making this product over and over again, I want same results each time. I weigh out everything, so the colorants always get weighed out, and I mark down to the tenth of a gram how much I put in, just to make sure that if I go to make this again, it's going to come out the same way. You can see the lake colorant has already colored the powdered ingredients without any real moisture in there. And then I add the wetting ingredients in, and the color really starts to pop then once that gets mixed up. Now it's been thoroughly mixed, and you can see that color really is vibrant, gorgeous, bright reddish pink color. And now that the wetting ingredients have all been mixed in with the sodium bicarbonate and the kaolin clay, now is when I would add my SLSA and citric acid. So originally when I made bath bombs, I found a lot of recipes / formulas that were having me mix everything together at once, all the dry ingredients, and then add the wetting ingredients. And the problem with that is that you add wet ingredients to the citric acid and sodium bicarbonate, is you get the reaction, and you don't want to get that reaction right away. So you can blend those wet ingredients into just the baking soda and really get that color you want, and then you add the other ingredients later. I know that SLSA or sodium lauryl sulfoacetate is not an ingredient everybody uses. I like it because it adds more than just the fizzing. It adds a lot of foam and bubbles, and it just gives it another level of interest. So now everything is mixed, and we are ready to start pressing. Before I press though, I like to just make sure that everything's mixed completely, and then I also do a little squeeze test to make sure that it's all staying together when I press it in my hand. If it doesn't or falls apart and crumbles, then I know it needs a little more moisture added to it. So I'll add some extra 70% isopropyl alcohol, and rather than spraying it directly into the bowl, I will spray some on my hand and work my hand through the mix manually. So because I want all my bath bombs to be the same, I want them to weigh the same and look the same, I put my bowl on the scale, tear it out to 0, and then start filling the mold, and I fill it to the same amount in each bath bomb. For these, I think it's 100 grams I'm doing for each pressing. And here's this finished batch. It's a small batch. They look great and they smell amazing. And I'm going to show you now a little test of what they do when they hit the water. Oh, look at that. Lots of fizz and foam and bubbles. And that's what I love about these. They really are great bath bombs. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching this. It was a little different for me to do. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and hopefully we'll see you back soon.